Hey everybody, Matt Hartman here for Drunkard's Walk. Thanks so much for listening. A big thank you to Jesse L.E. for our theme music and Nick Jaramillo for our artwork. I also want to say a very big thank you to our guest this week. I am always excited about recording Drunkard's Walk, and this week I was off the charts excited. We were joined, as you're about to hear, by one of the hosts of Good Job Brain. Her name is Karen, and she is fantastic. And Good Job Brain is one of my favorite podcasts, and I was so excited to have her on, and she was so nice to volunteer her time to come on and humor me, and just was a really good sport about the whole thing. So I just thank you so much to her. Thank you to Good Job Brain, and thank you again for listening. I hope you enjoy this as much as I enjoyed recording it. Oh, and Jethro liked it too.
Hello, and welcome back to Drunkard's Walk, the podcast. This is your host, Jethro Nolan, and I am delighted to have you here, and thank you for once again joining us as we traipse through Wikipedia. But as you know, it is illegal to go through Wikipedia by oneself. One must be accompanied, lest one fall down a rabbit hole and never return. So as my safety buddy on this trip, as always, the enigmatic Matthew Hartman.
Hi, Jethro.
Hello.
How's it going? I'm glad we're obeying the law here.
You know, I love nothing more than rules.
Yes. No, you are never breaking rules.
It's so true.
I do want to point out, though, that law is just a state law in Michigan and Pennsylvania. That is not a law across the entire United States. Were you aware of that?
I was not aware of that.
Yeah,
but
it's a
thank
state.
God,
it's a state determination.
We both live in Michigan and Pennsylvania, and we are now. My question, and maybe there's a lawyer out there listening, if my safety buddy is not in the same state as me, am I still obeying the Michigan state law?
That's a great question, Jethro, and I think that we should all head over to
LegalZoom.
LegalZoom. Oh, that's perfect. What a great boy! I wish they were our sponsor. We could talk about how wonderful they are and get somebody to help us out. But alas, we'll just have to assume that it's safe. I think that's the best way to go here. That's what I do with most laws, is I assume that I'm following them.
There we go. You know, there's usually some guys who'll come knock on your door if you're not.
Is that right?
I mean, knock is perhaps understating what they'll do to your door.
I see.
Depending on the degree of infraction that you've...
Got it. Do you have any experience with that, or are you just assuming again?
No. Fortunately, I changed my name enough that the law can't keep up with me. So that's also why I moved to Michigan. By the way, I didn't move to Michigan. I moved to Colorado. In case there's any law enforcement, look for me in Colorado, because that's where I live.
I don't think
he said convincingly.
That's not convincing. And that made it even less convincing, I have to say.
I know, but maybe I'm doing a double bluff.
Oh, nice. This is like Ocean's 11. I love it.
It is. And I got a guy he's locked in a box right now. He's going to spring out and rob a safe. And I don't want to tell you about my crime. If you want to know about my crime, listen to Jethro Commits Felonies, the podcast.
That's right.
If you want to know about all of the crimes that I do.
If you want to know about his crime, you've got to do your time and listen to his other podcast.
True.
That is part of the thing. You know what, Jethro? I mentioned Ocean's 11, and in Ocean's 11, they have to get kind of from the entrance into the safe and then back out with all of the money. I don't know if you remember that particular part of the movie, but that's the way that
Matt,
it goes.
Why would you bring up an extraneous plot detail in that manner? I wonder.
Well, it's mainly because I was talking about the movie, but it also kind of relates to what we do, Jethro. See, because here we travel through Wikipedia from one destination to another, and throughout a season, we start in one place and have to get back to that same place. So really, there's a connection there that I didn't even notice when I brought this up.
Wow. You know what? Yeah. That reminds me of Ocean's 12, which was something that was forced and unnecessary, but they did it anyway.
I'm just surprised that anything reminds you of Ocean's 12. Oh, I see what you've done. Thank you for, okay.
See, it was a veiled criticism of you.
I love it.
As
Thanks.
a human.
I really appreciate that. Well, maybe I'll save myself like they did in Ocean's 13.
Yeah. Well, or you know what? This podcast thus far has a real male energy. I wish that just like Ocean's 8, there would be a feminine energy that could interrupt this tired old franchise and breathe some new life into it.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
You know what,
fortunately, we can.
Yeah. I was going to point out the fact that actually we, like most episodes of Drunkard's Walk, have a guest with us today. And our guest, Folks, our guest is a little bit of a celebrity. I'm a little starstruck here because we have one of the hosts of Good Job Brain. It's Karen Chu. Hi, Karen. How you doing?
Hello, it's me. I misplaced my Ocean's X membership card. I am a huge fan of the Ocean's franchise, and I agree with you, Jethro. 12 was terrible. It was terrible. But 10, give me 11, give me 13, give me 8.
Yep.
All okay.
All right, pop quiz time. Have you ever watched the original Ocean's 11?
Oh, I fell asleep.
Oh no.
It just it seems like it just kept happening in one room. It was like in a living room setting for like a really long time. But you know what? Maybe I should give it another chance.
I've never seen it. I've never even tried to see it. So you're one up on me.
There's no SWAT. There's no elaborate casino blueprints. There's no Chinese acrobat guy jumping through elevator shafts. You know, it's really hard to beat.
I have to assume that George Clooney is still in it, though, right? Because he's been acting for a long time.
Very long time.
I have to assume that he was in there somewhere. Maybe.
Well, and given that it was made in like the 50s or 60s, had there been a Chinese acrobat guy, he probably would have been played by Mickey Rooney or something.
Oh, geez.
Would have been terribly poorly aged.
That'd be unfortunately true. Well, folks, if you are unfamiliar with Good Job Brain, and if you were like me and just didn't pay attention to podcasts, that may be how that happened. Because if you do pay attention to podcasts, you do know this show. This is a fantastic show. And Karen, can you tell our maybe one uneducated listener a little bit about what Good Job Brain is?
Sure, of course. Good Job Brain is a podcast we started in 2011, 2012. So quite a more than a decade ago. And the show it captures the spirit and the energy of pub quiz. Like if you go to pub quiz with your friends, the banter at the table, answering questions, you know, all those kind of friendly arguments you have about, you know, how much is a snitch worth in the game of Quidditch, you know, that kind of
150
friendly,
points.
Yes, Jethro. Amazing. And so we try to capture that friendship and that energy into a podcast form. So Good Job Brain is part offbeat trivia, facts, weird histories, and then also part quiz show where we devise our own quizzes. They get pretty nutty, and hopefully it's kind of like inviting you, listener, to our table so that we can have a grand old time. And we talk about animal secretions a lot.
Yes, that's so. I'm
so glad you kept it open to all secretions and didn't just pick one category.
No, you don't want to get specific. You don't want to get too specific. You put yourself in a box. I love this podcast. Listeners have already heard me talk about it and rave about it.
Thank you.
Because I just and like I said, I just discovered it. So I don't listen to a ton of podcasts. I have one, but I didn't listen to other ones really. But I love trivia. Like trivia is my thing, and I love it. I ran a trivia night during the pandemic because we couldn't do pub trivia anymore.
Yeah.
And I have my current job as a game designer at a video game company because I love trivia. Like that got me my job. So I'm a huge fan and I love what you're all doing. But the thing is, since I found the show in June and I've been listening to it from the beginning because I'm a completist, I've only listened to about 2014 or so in the podcast. And I was telling Karen this earlier that I don't know what's going to happen over the next 9 years more of this podcast. And so all of my references and things that I know about the podcast are probably just gone to the ether and probably have left your brain. Although I guess they're all trivia, so probably they've stayed in your brain. But anyway, I love it. And folks, if you haven't listened to it, please jump on because it's fantastic. It is.
I'm sure there's some
thank you.
Obama's second term references that are happening to the podcast.
Oh, I'm just, no spoilers. Just you wait, Matt. Just you wait.
I'm so excited. And honestly, I love it because it gives me something to listen to. All like everything I do, I'm taking a shower, I'm putting it on. I'm out doing yard work. I'm doing my run. I'm doing whatever it is I'm doing. Good Job Brain is with me, and it's become one of those things where I don't know if this happens to you guys or not, but I will watch a television show, binge a television show, and I will start to feel like the people in the show are my friends, and I could hang out with them, and and then I start to feel like maybe I could work in Parks and Recreation. Maybe that's a good job to look into, so that's how I feel with the four of you.
There's a name for that. There's a name
is?
for that phenomenon. Yeah, parasocial.
Yeah.
Also
psychotic. Psychotic is another
it.
term for that.
Psychotic, yeah, that's also
like a parasite.
Jimmy Kimmel is my friend.
and that's really the beauty of podcasts, and that's kind of a phenomenon that not a lot of media formats can harness. Like podcasts really can do that. Can make you feel like they're your friends. It's so intimate. It feels live. It's like, I don't know these people.
It's very strange to be injected straight into somebody's ears like that.
Yes, and you feel very vulnerable.
Continue to allow you to do that. So thank you for those few of you who've opted for that for this podcast. Exactly. I will also point out that Good Job Brain has a Wikipedia page, and since we are a Wikipedia podcast, we would be negligent not to point out and celebrate that you have whatever threshold exists of importance that determines whether or not you get a Wikipedia page. You've crossed that threshold. So
wow.
Yeah.
It's like the Wilford Brimley line. We've crossed it.
It is.
We're on Wikipedia now.
But not only that, I think if folks listen to our episode with Escape This Podcast earlier this season, our second episode of the season, Chris is mentioned in one of the articles that we're going through. He's called out. Yeah. He's talked about an article that he wrote in Wired is mentioned on one of the pages that we were looking at. I mean, just awesome, just amazing.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for the kind words. And I'm so happy to be here. I have no idea what's gonna happen, if you guys are gonna love my destinations, my Wikipedia destinations or not. But I'd like to think that this show, like Good Job Brain, trivia is timeless to a degree. It can be updated, but most of the times with facts and these interesting, like, this is why it's like the rabbit holes exist, right? They're like timeless, and you just kind of get transported into this world that you don't know. And so that's something that I love about this show that you guys have made.
Oh, well, thank you. We certainly appreciate that. So what I did, and I have to tell you again, like I said, I'm starstruck. I'm honored that you're here. And I decided that I wanted to write a quiz. So I wrote a quiz. Would you be willing? Would you indulge me? And
yes, can I buzz in?
Oh my gosh, please.
Okay.
No, see, I don't even know what level of buzzer you're at now, because I went through Barnyard buzzers and you got into morning radio buzzers.
Yes.
You have new buzzers since then, I'm guessing.
Well, we have to replace them because we smashed them after, like 10 plus years.
Yeah.
But sure. This one is my Barnyard dog buzzer.
Okay. Excellent. All right. Yeah. So absolutely you can buzz in. So what I've done is I've written a quiz that is based off of destinations that we have gone through on Drunkard's Walk. So it is very possible that these are going to be things that you've never, ever even heard of, or you may very well have. And so let's find out. Let's see what we've got here. And Jethro, if she does not know the answer, you are up. You have to answer the question. And if you don't know the answer, you're in trouble.
To be fair, though, I've been drunk on a lot of these podcasts.
I know.
So
I know. That's why. Yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go. We'll start off with number one here. What folklore monster was sighted in Braxton County, West Virginia in 1952?
Ooh, folklore monster. West Virginia folklore monster. So it can't be like something like you wouldn't say like a jackalope, a monster, or can't be the New Jersey Devil, or could it be? What's something Virginia like? Ooh, Jethro, you gotta throw me a bone here.
It's funny that you mentioned the New Jersey Devil, because if memory serves, we used the New Jersey Devil page to get to this.
Oh.
We did.
But it's one that I had not heard of until it was given to us as a destination. But it is, in fact, I believe, Matt, the Flatwoods Monster.
That is correct. The Flatwoods Monster.
What does it look like? What kind of animal is it? Or human?
It's like anthropomorphic. So it's like an alien type.
So it's an alien.
Humanoid figurine.
Got it.
thing.
The other thing I should say is, to be clear, all of these questions that I have and all the answers are things that I had never heard of until we went to them. So these are not like necessarily very common knowledge-y types of things. So please don't feel like if you don't know them, it's like, how could I not know that? These are things that were totally off of our radar as well. All right, here's number 2. What band released the hit What Does the Fox Say?
Oh, it's only me. But I'm buzzing in anyways. This is Ylvis.
Yes, that's exactly correct. Yeah, from what country are they from again?
Sweden.
Scandinavia.
They're a Scandinavian country. Perfect. Let's go with that. All right, number 3. What was being built when one of the worst industrial accidents in the history of the U.S. happened, leading to at least 476 and possibly as many as 1,000 deaths from silicosis caused by the inhalation of silica?
Whoa, what was being built? So silica is, is it United States?
It is in the U.S., yes.
So silica, that's like what they use for glass. So I feel like maybe something that's very glass-based structure.
I will tell you that this silica was naturally occurring where they were doing this work.
Okay, so they're probably trying to mine or quarry something that's, you know what? I'm going to guess the White House.
Oh, interesting. That's an interesting guess. It is not true. Jethro, do you know the name of this structure?
I believe this was an episode that your dad was the guest on, and he gave the suggestion of and I might not remember the name. And is it the Hawk's Nest Tunnel?
That's right. The Hawk's Nest Tunnel. The Hawk's Nest Tunnel disaster is the worst industrial accident, or at least one of the worst industrial accidents in U.S. history. And it's very, very, it's not very well known at all. Very few people know about it. But
that's the kind of fun we have. Is we focus on the disaster.
We like to go to disasters.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
You know what? That is my guilty pleasure. I'm such a big wuss for horror movies, but the person in me needs to know what's the twist and what happened in these movies, whether or not they're terrible or they're great. Like, I just need to know.
Yeah.
And so this is what I do. I go on Wikipedia. Oh, show me all the deaths in Final Destination. And I read each one, and so that I was like, oh, I don't really want to watch the movie, but at least I know what's the plot and how are these people, the creative ways in which these people are dying.
There you go. Yeah. It's personally, I hate an unsolved mystery. I can't stand it. If I cannot, I gotta have a resolution to that. Why did that happen? What? Even if it's like, well, the refrigerator door was open. Did you leave the refrigerator? No, I didn't leave the refrigerator door open. Well, I didn't
who did?
Either. Somebody did. How did it happen? If no one did, it can be as simple as that for me. All right, let's go to number 4. What is Park Ranger Roy Sullivan's dubious claim to fame?
Dubious. Okay, so first I was going to say, oh, maybe he invented like Smokey the Bear, the concept of Smokey the Bear. Like, that's kind of Park Ranger, but dubious. Oh, did he cause like a fire, like a crazy bad accident?
No, it's
right church, wrong pew.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't cause an accident. He was present
at several of them, though.
Yeah.
What is it? I'm intrigued.
Jethro?
He is the person who has been struck by lightning the most times, I believe.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
7 times Roy Sullivan was struck by lightning.
7 verified. I believe there was an unverified 8th time.
Correct. Yes.
Is not on the official books.
That's right. So there you go. That's Roy Sullivan's dubious claim to fame. Okay, number 5. What is the name of the dog who waited for his owner at a subway station in Tokyo 9 years after the owner's death?
I believe his name is Hachiko.
That's it.
Yep.
Thank God you got it, because I couldn't remember it. Probably.
Yes, that is it. And again, a story that we didn't know, but one of our listeners came on and gave us that topic. And what a
That's not a very uplifting topic. It's a real big downer.
Yeah, but it's kind of, I don't know. It's
Yeah,
moving. It's
it's
very
very
loyal.
sweet.
Some
dog.
guests actively try to sabotage the podcast. I
I
will point
see.
that out.
I see.
That was Nick Jaramillo, and he's an evil man. So
Yeah, he is. Although he did design our logo, so we give him a pass.
There you go. This is a 384 question quiz, by the way.
No, it is a 10 question quiz. It is 10 questions. I will try to speed it up. What is the name of the online baseball simulator horror game developed by the Game Band?
Oh my God, that sounds amazing. What's a good pun? Something like sabermetrics, but like.
Ooh, I like that better.
Oh, really? Seventh inning kill, seventh. I don't know. What is it? Please tell me there's a pun in it.
There's not.
I
can't remember this one. I can't.
You don't remember it? It is.
I remember the concept. I don't remember the specific name.
It's Blaseball.
Blaseball.
Blaseball, which again we had never heard of, knew nothing about it, and it is incredibly popular. It's like this. It's just a total simulation, but people bet on it, and there's all kinds of like ridiculous. There's teams and fans and coaches, and it's insane. So check out the Wikipedia page on Blaseball if you want a good read sometime. All right, number 7. What sea is known for its human foot discoveries?
Oh, what sea? Oh, what's a human foot? So
Half points if you can tell me just the general location of the sea.
why are there feet in the sea? That's so like for at first I was like, okay, there's when gangsters pour cement into people, and drop them off so that they sink to the bottom. So I was thinking about that, and I was like, it feels like the feet wouldn't survive. Then I was thinking of like all those people who are swimming in hot springs and breaking into like hot springs in Yellowstone, and not realizing that like the water there is not normal water. It's filled with sulfuric acid and other things, and they like decompose. But then I was like, but then that means they fully decomposed.
Yep.
So the feet wouldn't remain. And I was like, oh, maybe Dead Sea, something about like the density and the flotation. I'll guess Dead Sea.
Jethro, do you remember the name of the sea?
I believe this was the Salish Sea.
Oh,
right. The Salish Sea, which is located in just the Northwest. It's like up around, is it Oregon or is it Washington?
Like British Columbia, I believe.
Oh, British Columbia. Okay, so there you go. So it's even further.
Canadian feet. So technically they're meters that they
That's not, Jethro, that's not what that... All right, that's fine. Let's move on to the next one here.
I like that Karen isn't tired of all my lame jokes.
I know, it's kind of nice, isn't it?
It's fresh.
She's a breath of fresh air.
The other thing is I have to apologize because these are not written as like good trivia questions that have any kind of hint in them a lot of the times. They're just written as like, if you know this answer, you do, and if you don't, you don't. So I apologize for that.
No. Part of the fun is, I know I'm not going to get it right, but like is to reason it out.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So yeah.
No, I love it. Okay, how about number 8? What was the name of the ultra low frequency sound recorded underwater by NOAA in 1997?
So is NOAA at first, before you finish the question, I thought I was like, oh, this must be the brown note. It's the note that makes people poop because of the frequency.
No, but I remember you guys talking about that on one of the episodes.
But so underwater low, it makes me think NOAA might be a whale, and it might be one of the few or one whale that like has a sound that's a different frequency, which makes him lonely.
In this case, NOAA is an abbreviation. It's the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. Sorry, it's not NOAA. It's not a name of NOAA. I apologize.
Okay,
and it's not
so cute.
It's not what was the cause of the sound, but what was the name?
They
of
named
the sound.
this sound.
This name
because they didn't know the cause.
That's right. And I will tell you this also. It's an onomatopoetic name.
Okay.
Maybe your friends Dick Cavett and Ed McMahon hosting a TV special in the 1980s could help you.
Oh.
Sorry. I'm doing my best.
Ridiculous clue.
It's a terrible clue.
Is it ocean fart?
Oh gosh! Now see, your answers are so much better than the real answers. Jethro, do you remember?
Bloop.
Yes.
Bloop.
Bloop.
Yeah, it's called the Bloop. Bloop. Bloop.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what they called it. And it was a mystery. They did not know what caused this amazing sound.
And they still don't.
They do. But I'm not going to tell you because it kind of ruins the mystery of it.
You know what? I'll listen.
If you want. Yeah, if you want. Oh, yeah, that's it. Good. Yes. That's a much better reason for me to not tell people. Go listen to our episodes, everyone.
Good job, Brain.
This is this is why no one listens to us. Okay, number 9. Now, this person has been mentioned in one of your episodes, but again, it's one of the episodes that I listened to, so it was a long time ago.
Okay.
So let's see if you remember.
There's 261 episodes now. So
I know, right? And I'm on episode
Magnan Man
130 or something, so I'm like halfway through. William Moulton Marston was an American psychologist who, along with his wife, invented an early prototype of the polygraph and is probably best known for creating which comic book superhero?
This is Wonder Woman.
Yes! There you go. Nicely done. All right, and our final question. What is Count Chocula's first name?
I don't know. Oh, this is terrible of me. I usually pride myself in knowing the full names of cereal mascots, and that's not being sarcastic. Wow, Count Chocula. It must be something like Vlad or Ivan or something but then is it also a chocolate pun? They don't usually do like 2 puns. That's like pun overload for like first name and last name. Count Chocula. Is his first name Yum? It can't be Yum Chocula. Oh, I'm going with boring Vlad.
Okay. Jethro, do you remember?
I'm something in my brain wants me to say Alfred.
That's correct. It's
Alfred. That was
Alfred
pure luck.
Chocula.
That's
so I have to rewind because Karen made a fantastic statement that she normally prides herself on knowing the first names of cereal mascots.
She does. No, I know that because she talks
like Karen, just off the top of your head, what are some of your favorite cereal mascot first names?
Oh, there's Cornelius. What about I tell you the name and you try to guess who it is? Cornelius.
It's the rooster on the cornflakes.
Yes.
Okay.
There is Horatio Magellan.
That's Captain Crunch.
Yes. Yeah. And then of course there is a lesser known. Well, he used to be on. He used to be one of the Rice Krispie elves, but then he got retired, and his name was Pow. And Pow,
Pop and Pow. Okay.
He was a military man. So you have the baker, you have the band leader, and then you have Pow, who's like in a little military helmet and suit, and you can see sketches of him, and maybe not. Yeah, he's supposed to symbolize the nutritional explosion of nutrition in Rice Krispies.
But did he get like phased out because of how unpopular the Vietnam War was? Like, what? I want to know the story of Pow.
I guess you just have to go on Wikipedia.
There we go.
There it is.
There it is.
Well, thank you for...
that's the segue we're looking for.
Yes, thank you for
no clumsy
for humoring me.
Ocean's 11 references. Just a straight up forward segue to Wikipedia.
Quiet. Thank you for humoring me and doing that quiz. I appreciate it. Good job, Brain. And let's do it. Let's go into what you've got for us as far as a destination is concerned.
Okay, so I'll be like a Monty Hall thing. I have two choices. There's door number 1 and door number 2.
Okay,
and that's it. No hints. You guys just got to choose 1 or 2.
I was worried that this was going to be like the Monty Hall problem. Where
there
were 3 doors and she was going to eliminate one after you picked
exactly.
And then you die. Yeah.
There we go.
Whoa, that is a Monty Hall problem.
Well, Matt, given that I love nothing more than to argue with you about arbitrary things that have no significance, I'm going to insist that we go with door number 2.
Well, that's fine, Jethro, because I was going to say we have to go with number 2 because I've listened to Good Job Brain, and if you don't go number 2 with Good Job Brain, you're not really following along. You're not paying attention. So
all right, then sounds like it's door number 2.
All right, so I'll tell you what door number 1 was, and this is what you guys missed out on.
Here.
What I chose was the Fool's Gold Loaf. fool's
Ooh.
gold loaf.
Now we
It
can look
is
that up
an
later.
insane sandwich where you hollow out a full loaf of bread. You hollow it out, and then you dump a jar of peanut butter, a jar of jam right into the bread container, and you add 1 pound of bacon to it.
Wow.
Yes, the
What?
fool's
That
gold loaf.
sounds amazing.
That is fantastic, and I can't believe that is a popular enough thing that it has a Wikipedia page.
Thanks to Elvis Presley.
Oh, there
Thanks
you
to Elvis
go.
Presley
The
and his
king,
pals.
of
Yep,
course.
the king heard about this concoction and flew to Denver and then I think him and his buddies bought a bunch,
Mhm.
ate the sandwiches with champagne,
Oh,
Of
course.
course.
and had a
Yeah.
grand old time.
Yeah.
Maybe had a grand old time in the bathroom too. But
Yep.
Probably.
Yeah.
So sorry, guys.
I think Elvis was famous for not having a grand old time in the bathroom, if memory serves.
Let's see it. Yes. Mm.
I think he had rather an unfortunate.
Jethro, that's out near where you live now, out near Denver. That's
The
amazing.
bathroom?
That
We've got
happened.
Yes,
No,
yes.
not the
Your
bathroom.
legal, your
No,
legal
no.
residence.
My legal resident. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so that's what we don't get to go to, which would have been awesome. Where do we get to go?
Well, it's a Good Job Brain classic. Matt, you probably know, but for the listeners out there who don't know, I chose something called Castorium.
Yay!
Castorium. We lovingly call it beaver butt juice. But it is,
yes. Is this the extract that is used?
Yes.
Food and such that comes from beaver's anal glands.
Yes, and I would like to think that we helped popularize this fact back in 2012 when it was like I think on episode 3 or 4 of Good Job Brain.
Very
it was something
early.
I happened across because I'm a big like perfume nut. And so I was reading about all the different ingredients. And so this is one of the ingredients I read about. And I was like, when you look at the word, it kind of just looks kind of scientific. Sounds like an additive. It sounds, very unremarkable. And I was like,
doesn't
maybe
sound like anal gland secretion.
No, nor beavers. It's like I didn't know it was in perfumes, a lot of byproducts of animals, but just at first glance, it just seemed really, really boring. And I clicked on it. I was like, oh my goodness. Oh my word. It is a sack. And people harvest this sack of butt secretions and put it in perfumes.
Okay. Are perfumes the only usage of this, or are there other?
No. You'll find out, I guess.
Oh, I know.
Oh, dude.
I remember because they talk all about it in one of their episodes. Yeah, it's a flavoring, and it's used to enhance, I believe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong or not. Let me get hung on my own petard here. The flavors of vanilla and raspberry.
Yeah,
I think. And so you've eaten a little bit of Castorium, Jethro, or a lot, perhaps.
I mean, I don't want to tell tales out of school, but I'm constantly going after beaver ass in the wild. So that's I mean, some brave French Canadian discovered this.
Yes, that's what we thought. We're like, who found out about this? It's like someone accidentally, took a nap.
Oh yeah.
Maybe a beaver walked by, secreted something, and he woke up and he's like, I'm gonna go pick some raspberries off of this bush. And it's like, that's delicious. Yeah, but it is. You're there with me, French Canadian. I was like, this is part of the fur trapping industry. This probably happened around that time. Like beavers were kind of quote harvested for all of their parts. So
yeah.
Jean-Claude, why are you so happy? I don't know. Met a beaver and one thing led to another and expressed its anal glands and put it on some raspberries, and it's quite nice.
See, now I was assuming it was somebody who was on the job of like getting the furs or somehow destroying these beavers and had their lunch there with them. And something accidentally sprayed over, and they weren't paying much attention, and they ate it.
I'm not going to throw away my fool's gold loaf just because a beaver exploded its anus. Wow.
Exactly what I think
Wow.
occurred.
Well, so
am
I didn't
delighted.
want to choose this because I thought, oh, this is kind of old news now. I mean, this was like hot trivia back in 2012. This is
Mhm.
no longer hot trivia in 2023. A lot of people are like, oh, this is old news. But I revisited the Wikipedia page, and it has been updated. It has changed. There's a new picture. It used to not have a picture. I mean, there was
a picture. I can't wait.
it was
Something to look
it
forward
was a
to.
picture of just like a normal beaver, but now there's like an actual, it's someone really, a lot of people, thank you on Wikipedia, brave Wikipedia writers fleshed this page out. So I'm really, really happy to
Wow.
revisit this.
This is amazing.
That is incredible.
This is such a great, and I'm so excited to have that connection and things like that, because this is just so much fun. And I just recently listened to the episode where you guys were talking about the ads that you put up in the BART, and how they had to how you had to redo the graphic because they weren't okay with the beaver butthole being on it, and it wasn't all right. And I was like, but that seems, I feel like now you'd get away with that. I feel like that
it's
people,
just a
I've
cute
seen
little
worse.
asterisk.
I've seen worse. Yeah, exactly.
A cartoon asterisk.
I've seen so much worse.
This might be a minor spoiler, but good job, Brain. We eventually got a book deal, and we published a trivia book. It's supposed to kind of mimic not mimic, but what we're going after is like the bathroom reader vibe. So really the book should just live in your bathroom, and every time that you have some quality time there, you can flip to a page, read about some, do a little quiz and read facts. And so I was so kind of bitter about BART, our San Francisco train system, for not letting, from basically censoring our little ad, like beaver butthole in our ads.
Yeah.
That was like, you know what? For this book, I'm just going to add a bunch of buttholes and people wouldn't know. And you'll see it on the cover. It's like used as like a bullet point. It's used as in many ways in our book. And it looks like an asterisk, but just so you know, that's a beaver butthole.
I love that. I absolutely love it.
That is a fantastic suggestion. I can't wait. And I guess we won't be going down any rabbit holes today, but instead,
Jethro.
Beaver holes.
Okay, and there
you knew it was going to happen.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much, Karen. That is fantastic. And again, like if people are not unfamiliar or haven't listened to Good Job Brain, it is a delight. It is absolute joy. If you enjoy trivia, if you enjoy laughter, it is hosted by Karen and some lovely other folks, but highly recommend. And again, your listenership is probably going to double or quadruple based off of the bump that you're getting from Drunkard's Walk.
It's huge,
hugely influential.
I'm so excited, and I think that's part of my excitement is I can't wait to see where you guys end up. So I'll see you guys on the other side.
Excellent.
Thank you so much, Karen. Take care.
Cheers. All right, Matt, we've got a beaver extract to find. And we got a couple of points of order that we got to take care of. First, number one is we got to write down some numbers here, but also we got to talk about a little drinky dinks that we're having here.
We do have to talk about drinky dinks. Yes.
Are you having a little bevy wevs?
Well, I want to say first of all that I was going to. There's a drink that is mentioned obviously early on in the podcast, because I'm still early on in their podcast. It's called the Runner's Nipple. It is it is suggested as it is not a drink that actually exists. It's suggested as vodka, Gatorade, and grenadine. So I did almost mix that drink, and then I thought, I could just talk about it and that would be enough. So instead, I'm drinking bourbon, and I am drinking a particular bourbon that came from none other than you, my friend. That was transported. My wife was got to have lunch with your wife, and she passed us along Heaven Hill, Kentucky Straight Bourbon, a fantastic 7-year-old bourbon that I've never had the chance to try before, but have heard so much about, and I am delighted to have the chance to try it. So thank you, my friend. That is what I am enjoying this evening.
Excellent. And I have started off with the same bourbon this evening, so we're it's a rare.
Is that right?
We're both drinking the same bourbon. show.
Well, then cheers.
Cheers to you, sir. I got that when I was in Louisville for my 50th birthday with my brothers, and I enjoyed it quite a lot. And when I saw it at my local grocery store, because here in Enlightened Michigan, you can buy bourbon at a grocery store, I excitedly pounced on it.
I'm shocked to hear that you were able to buy it in Michigan. I thought I had heard that like the distillery was one of the only places you could actually get a bottle.
Well, apparently they've listened to the podcasts, they've heard my criticism, and they've expanded they picked my local grocery store to send it to. But yeah,
well, that was perfect. That was a great choice for them, and I'm glad that they did, because I get to enjoy it now as well.
Very good.
All right,
and now on to our guesses, sir.
So yes, yeah. Oh, I've already written my guess down. I'm ready to go.
As have I.
Great. Well, then let's get into it, my friend.
Let's do this thing, as they say.
We are starting, for those that didn't listen last week, at Emerald View Park, which is a large municipal park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, formerly called Grandview Scenic Byway Park. And it's a good thing it was, because that's the way that we got in here.
Indeed.
Was finding that link.
It is a large park, but a small Wikipedia page. There's not much going on here.
There is not. There's a lot of outside stuff. Now, last week we broke a lot of our kind of self-imposed rules because we needed to get here, and it turned out it was a good thing that we did, because there really wasn't another way in.
Yeah.
Than the way that we took. I mean, there were other paths in, but they all went through that same green box at the bottom of the page type of thing. But I will say that we are trying to get to like a natural flavor type of thing. We're trying to get to something that comes from beavers. There are some links on here, since it is a park, to some natural things. So I see Earth Day as one of the things, and I see greenways as one of the things. Now, greenways doesn't make me quite as excited, but Earth Day, I feel like Earth Day might be a potential path here. What do you think?
I saw that as well, and I am inclined to agree with you. The only thing I will say is that Earth Day is broad, and it's kind of an artificial human holiday thing. So there will certainly be links to natural things on the Earth Day page. Yeah. But Greenways itself is, possibly slightly more connected to nature, in that there is greenery, which is presumably photosynthetic plants that are on there.
I don't know. See, that's what I thought at first too. But when I moused over, it said a greenway is usually a shared use path along a strip of undeveloped land in an urban or rural area set aside for recreational use or environmental protection. So to me, the greenway is more like the part that isn't the wilderness and isn't the nature. It's the walking through it. And I don't know that that's going to be as good for us to get to something like beavers, or I mean, also let's keep in mind we could be getting into cooking or food or flavoring or things like that too, but there's nothing on this page that really lends itself to that.
Fair point. So, well, in that case, let's do Earth Day. I like Earth Day. Let's do Earth Day.
I like Earth Day too. Earth Day back started in what, 1970?
1970, indeed. April 22nd, 1970.
There you go. Yeah,
before
April 22nd,
you or I were born, my friend.
That is true. It is the day my parents met. So there you go. That is, I'm constantly told that when we get around that date.
Were they doing some like Earth Day shenanigans?
No, not at all. Nope. They just happened to meet that day. My father attended Pitt. My mother attended Edinburgh University up near Erie, and my dad and a friend of his went up to Edinburgh around that time because they were done with their, I guess they had trimesters or something. Yep. And Edinburgh was still in session, and so they went up there, and that's just, it was that time of year, so that's when they met.
There we go. Yeah. Now, I have started to peruse the Earth Day page, and I will say that on the Earth Day 1970 section, there is a link to Rachel Carson, who wrote Silent Spring, from Pittsburgh originally.
Yes.
But that could definitely get us into natural things.
Oh, gosh. Speaking of Pittsburgh, we didn't even mention that Karen spent some time in Pittsburgh. She attended Carnegie Mellon, and in one of their episodes actually talks a little bit about Kennywood. So there's a Pittsburgh connection there as well. And I know we like to point out our Pittsburgh connections. So,
well, we did take a 45-minute detour to do your quiz. So I feel like that's
true. That's true. Yeah. So that felt more like, wait, that seems like you're being mean. Are you being mean?
Me? Jethro Nolan be mean to my best friend? No.
How dare you? You know what's interesting about this page, Jethro?
What?
There's a lot of black text on this page and not a lot of blue links.
There's a lot of citation needed links.
There sure are. But there's a lot of links to like names of people. There's locations. I'm not seeing a whole lot of like things about the actual environment, which you know, that's kind of what you brought up, right? And you kind of pointed out that that's what it would be like, and you were right.
Apology accepted.
Not apologizing, just saying you're right.
Yeah, I feel like you were. So global warming is linked here. Clean energy. Rachel Carson, as previously mentioned.
Rachel Carson.
Environmental justice.
Yeah, I see environmental issues linked on here as well. Also, I want to point out I see John Ratzenberger linked on here, and so
is that the actor who played Cliff Clavin?
Yes, Cheers is also linked on this page. So if you really wanted to get into it,
famed beaver enthusiasts. John Ratzenberger and the cast of Cheers.
I guess so. I see cleanup, as in like an environmental cleanup.
I see deforested, linking to deforestation, which could get us into. I mean, technically, beavers are doing some deforestation as well.
That's a good point. I was thinking of trying to get to like waterways because that's where beavers are famously found.
Indeed,
and that's why like cleanup or. Like clean energy was on here, and I was thinking like hydro power plants and things like that. Oh, plastic pollution is linked on here.
Man, this is just bummer patrol.
What about plastic pollution? Because that gets into our waterways and might actually influence and affect beavers.
Could be.
What do you think about that?
How about Dutch elm disease?
Dutch elm disease? No, I don't like that at all.
Now, there is a section under Earth Day 2023 for Earth Day Canada, which could get us into Canada, which is where all the cool beavers are from.
I don't know. I feel like that feels a little geographical to me.
I'm not saying we click on a geographic link. I'm just saying it's a section that deserves greater scrutiny.
Okay. All right. Well, scrutin it out, my man.
Scrutiny. Excuse me.
Scrutiny.
Sorry, that Heaven's Hill is doing its job.
Yeah, I understand. It's doing what it needs to do. Environmental degradation. Gaylord Nelson is
we are at the exact same part of the page because I just saw both of those links as well.
Yeah. Silent Spring itself is linked on here, so that may be a path.
Yeah. John Muir of Muir Woods fame.
Oh yes, yeah. And there's John Lennon, the leader of Russia.
So there is a link to the Daughters of the American Revolution, which I feel like could get us into like the early American beaver trade kind of thing.
That feels very tangential to me.
Oh, how dare you? Do you know how important beaver pelts were to the early American colonies, the French and Indian Wars? Come on now.
No, I know. I understand what you're saying. I know you want to get back to Fort Necessity and all the stuff that we were at last week.
It's a necessity.
How about actually, I like Arbor Day.
Arbor Day?
Because that gets us into like trees, and trees are, that's what the beavers use.
Where do you see Arbor Day link?
Oh, it's under the sea also.
Oh, okay. I see. So now sea alsos are okay.
Sea also has always been okay.
All right. I see. Changing your tune.
There's a lot of politics of global warming. World Environment Day, World Soil Day, World Water Day, Ecology Flag. I didn't look at that. Oh my gosh, mouse over the ecology flag. That thing is awesome looking.
Ecology flag.
Yeah, under the sea.
Holy hell.
Look at that.
It looks like a Middle Eastern nation that's been taken over by Bitcoin. It is a very striking flag. Although, given the way that it previews on the little theta symbol is not centered on the green field, it's left justified, and it just feels like a very first draft effort by whatever graphic designer put it together. If that is in fact the actual thing, and it's not just a rendering problem on Facebook.
All right, Jethro, I have a suggestion.
Do
And
you now?
You're going to think that I'm out of my mind.
I already do. So go right ahead.
Follow me with this a little bit.
All right.
All right. There's a link, one of the last links on this page, to illusion. Not illusion, illusion.
As in the craft of magic?
As it says here, a distortion of the senses, which can reveal how the mind normally organizes and interprets, reveal how the mind normally organizes and interprets sensory stimulation.
So far, I think it's a terrible idea.
So here's the reason that I think it might be an interesting path, is because we are talking about a flavor, an artificial flavor, a natural flavor, but one that is artificially augmenting other flavors. And I think there might be a connection between like a taste illusion and what we're talking about here. I think this might be the type of thing that causes an illusion of taste.
What is a taste illusion?
I mean, certainly you've heard of taste illusions.
I don't understand.
What I'm saying is that, look, optical illusion, you know what that is, right?
Yeah.
Auditory illusion, you know what that is?
Yes.
So if those exist, there must be one that is a taste illusion.
Okay, so here
tastes like miracle fruit. Miracle fruit, right?
All right,
where you eat the miracle fruit and then you taste like a lemon and then it tastes amazing.
So let me disabuse you of something.
Also discussed on Good Job Brain, by the way, but keep going.
Okay, fine. We get it. You listened to several episodes of Good Job Brain.
Over 100, thanks.
Okay. All right, nerd boy. Listen. A visual illusion it is a perception that is created in your head that is other than the actual stimulus that exists out in the world.
Yeah, it's like those what are those things that we did with the eyes, right? Remember we went to one of them chitines or coteines or creatines, or you remember we went to something that was an optical illusion. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't recall off the top of your head.
Off the top of my head. Phosphenes.
Okay. All right. So, but there's something out there in the world, and the way that our brain perceives it is different than the actual stimulus. Great.
Yes,
okay.
Exactly.
So
yes.
Auditory illusion, same deal.
Yes.
There's an actual sound that exists outside of your head.
Yeah.
And it can be measurably different to what is perceived inside of the head. Now,
we are on the same page for sure.
The problem with taste is that taste is not an objective thing that exists out there in the world. Taste is purely the perception inside your head. So there's a gene that controls for how you taste cilantro, as an example. And for a certain percentage of the population, cilantro tastes like soap.
Yes.
We all know that. Yeah. And so if you've got the cilantro soap gene, then it tastes like soap. If you don't have the cilantro soap gene, it tastes like, shitty mint or whatever.
Not soap.
But there's not an objective, measurable thing that could be said, this is the actual taste, regardless of what you experience, because the only thing that qualifies as taste is the actual experience that happens within your head. So there cannot, therefore, be an illusion.
So you would be when in the debate of when I see the color green and you see the color green, we both see exactly the same thing. In your mind, the answer is absolutely yes.
What a ridiculous leap you've made.
No, it's not.
That's completely unwarranted.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Completely unwarranted.
No, because you were saying that taste exists in the mind, in the brain of the individual.
Yes.
So why then would this be different to say that when I look at something that is green, what I see is different than what you see? It exists in my brain. It does not exist in any particular. It is the same wavelength. It is measurable, but so is the chemical that is in the thing that we are tasting.
So that's the distinction that I would make, is that the chemical that we are tasting is in fact the same.
Yes.
But our experience of that chemical is not the same. Now, if how you define color is the experience of seeing what I perceive of as green.
Yes.
That's one definition. Another way of defining green is the perception is light at whatever nanometers of wavelength.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. But then so I could say that the taste is defined as the combination of particular chemicals.
You could, but then it would be completely divorced from the experience of that combination.
But so would then if you and I picture something different when we see green, or observe in our brain something different when we see the color green.
Yeah. So this has been fun. You are wrong.
I don't believe. Yeah. Why do you see these as different? I'm not saying that one is right or wrong, but how do you see those two things as different from each other?
So because there is the external stimulus that is perceived by our senses and the internal sensation are obviously two different things, and we all agree on that.
We do, yes.
I guess the point that I'm saying is that from a perspective of, regardless of whether you and I see green as the same experience or not, we can agree that green is, whatever, 500 nanometers of wavelength or whatever the actual number is.
Yeah. I got you. I'm with you. Yeah.
There, from a taste perspective, there does not exist the same precision in the stimulus correlated to the experience. Because I can taste salt, sweet. So let's just take sweet. There's a number of different molecules out there that can produce the sweet sensation in my taste experience.
Sure.
They're all different.
Yeah.
Like with green, there's only a certain bandwidth of light wavelength that will qualify as green.
Yeah. I have an argument for that, which is there are different shades of green, which are different wavelengths of light. And there are different flavors that produce sweet, which are different combinations of things,
But those molecules, they don't exist on a continuum in the way that the light spectrum exists on a continuum.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Apology accepted.
Not apologizing. Okay. So you don't like my idea. So what do you like? What do you want to do to get out of here? Because we've got to move forward. So you want to go through Silent Spring? What do you like?
Silent Spring, I think, is a good candidate. You mentioned like waterways. World Water Day could be a way there. Arbor Day, I accept as a possibility. So those are three options.
Yeah, I would love to get into something that discusses animals, and I feel like we're going to get there quicker through Silent Spring than we will through these others. Although something like environmental justice or environmental degradation or even deforestation that you pointed out earlier, I feel like those potentially get us into deforestation. Might actually be, there may actually be a mention of beavers on the deforestation page, as you mentioned. So Silent Spring, I don't think most of that discussion, I believe, is about birds and birds of prey.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's going to be a lot that I guess I feel like we could get to beavers through the discussions in Silent Spring, but in deforestation, there's a chance beaver is actually on that page. Not a good chance, but a chance.
I love it. Let's go. All right. So I see a link under Earth Day 2011 for deforested countries, which takes us to deforestation. Let's do it.
It does.
My goodness.
Deforestation.
This is a bummer episode. I'll just say it.
It sure is. She was talking about how, a lot of the things that we were bringing up were kind of downers. I mean, this is kind of a downer too, I mean, whose fault is that, right? I guess ours, completely ours. But still,
let's blame Karen. She's not here.
Oh yeah, she's not here. Okay, she's not here. Good point.
So,
I see wood industry and logging.
Ooh, I like both of those.
Linked right at the top.
I like them a lot. I skipped down further to impacts.
Oh, okay. Okay. What do you got? What do you got in impacts there?
I mean, just a lot of conceptual stuff like biodiversity and ecosystems.
Oh, okay.
Yada, yada, yada. I'm not seeing like specific animals.
Not specific ecosystems.
No, not really. Zoonotic diseases is linked here.
Oh, I was going to
That's
say
fine.
deforestation is linked on the deforestation page, but it goes to deforestation in the DRC.
There is a link to the capybara, which is a rodent in Paraguay.
I believe that is related to the beaver.
It very well may be.
Although I don't know if is a beaver a rodent. I'm not sure. Actually, I think they look similar, but I'm not sure they're actually
I don't know.
related.
I don't. It has a certain rodential visage.
You're talking about the beaver?
The capybara.
Yeah, well, the capybara definitely does. I think that they look somewhat similar. In fact, I think the capybara. Is there a picture on the page? I haven't found it.
There is a. If you hover over the link, you get an image preview, which is a much.
Teeth that are.
Right? It does say its close relatives include guinea pigs and rock cavies, and it's more distantly related to the ag, and then it cuts off from there.
Oh, the ag, and then we don't know.
I don't know, but I feel like it's definitely a possibility.
It is a possibility. It is an actual animal, which is nice.
There we go.
Gets us closer to that. Yeah, and I mean, like the logging industry, things like that. Like it, there are connections that we can make in our brains to that, but they're not like measurable. Like I make a different connection. What'd you find?
All right, so
what'd you find?
Under control.
Okay.
In the last part of the first section of that, there is a list of like products, I guess, that are influenced by this.
Oh,
the products include palm oil, cattle, wood, coffee, cocoa, rubber, soy, chocolate, furniture, printed paper. Are any of these things that use castoreum? Because remember, beaver's not our end goal. Castoreum.
Oh, interesting.
Now I remember there was vanilla and raspberry.
Yes.
Mentioned as places where this stuff gets used.
Yeah, for sure. And perfume, don't forget. So if there's anything that's perfume related, or cosmetically related, why do I feel like we've had a conversation similar to this? Didn't we have some sort of perfume or some sort of relation to something? Anyway, I don't know. Coffee, maybe. I know that there's another story that is told on Good Job Brain about a coffee that comes from seeds that go through the digestive tract of a particular animal.
Is it a goat? Or am I thinking of goats from like the origin of coffee when goat herds would have like
I don't think it's a goat. I can't remember what it is. But it was something
I've definitely heard of this.
They went through and then they take it out of the dung essentially, and then it's like it tastes even better or something like that. So I wonder if coffee, because coffee is definitely going to be something that like vanilla coffee is a thing, right? So maybe there's something there.
What about chocolate? Like, because like chocolate and vanilla are two very popular flavors.
Yeah, they're almost opposites of each other, aren't they?
I mean, they're complementary.
Are they? Do you have vanilla with your chocolate?
Have you ever had Neapolitan ice cream?
Ugh, yeah, but who eats that together? Everybody eats that separately.
Okay, all right. So let me ask you this.
Okay.
Let me ask you this.
Go ahead, ask me.
You're in a communal living setting.
Oh, thank you.
Let's say you're in your mid-20s.
Yeah.
You go to the freezer. There's a carton of Neapolitan ice cream.
Sure.
You open the lid. 2 of the 3 flavors have been completely eaten.
Yeah.
What's left?
Strawberry.
Exactly. So chocolate and vanilla are clearly the more popular.
No, they are absolutely the more popular. Come on. I mean, and that's the old Simpsons bit, right? Where he opens up like 3 containers of Neapolitan ice cream and it's just strawberry, and he says, "We need more Neapolitan ice cream."
Solid bit. It's funny because it's true. I feel like that's what they're teaching us.
I agree. Well, I've seen a lot of things linked on here that I was hoping to get even closer to. So Mother Nature is linked on here. There are animals linked on here as well. I like that flavor thing, though. I wonder if palm oil is the way to go, because palm oil is used in a ton of products.
It is, but it's like a shit ingredient.
It is, but it's used in like everything. Like it's everywhere, including things like shampoo and cosmetics, right? So I wonder if palm oil and castoreum are more closely related than either cocoa or coffee. Because remember, this is cocoa that's on here, not chocolate, right?
No, cocoa and chocolate are both linked.
Oh, chocolate's on here too? Okay, I didn't see chocolate. I just saw cocoa. Yeah, I guess, I mean, chocolate's a possibility.
Is it?
I kind of like palm oil though. I don't know why. And I've been wrong 1,000 times before. So, if you feel that chocolate is better than palm oil, and I mean, I do in like the world, I feel chocolate's better than palm oil.
I understand that you mean
like,
in the context of our podcast.
If you feel it's a better link to follow, I will follow you because you oftentimes get these things right and I oftentimes get these things wrong. So
I mean for me, like capybara and chocolate feel like the strongest.
Yeah, capybara, I don't want to take the chance on. I'm not sure how closely related they are to beavers. I'd rather, if it's between those two, I vote chocolate.
All right, let's go chocolate then.
And who doesn't like chocolate, right?
Indeed.
Let's do it.
Chocolate's a delight. You'll never regret some chocolate.
No, chocolate's delicious. And
okay,
well, actually, if we want to talk about how we get chocolate, we will start to. I just watched Last Week Tonight about this, and it's just a lot of child labor and slavery and things.
Yeah. Last Week Tonight is really great about making you hate things that you previously thought were
they
okay.
did it on the week of Halloween too, where they were like, hey, you're about to get a bunch of chocolate, here's why you are an asshole.
They're jerks. All right, so I will say that one of the things that sticks out to me is right up at the top, flavoring agent is linked.
Oh,
right
yeah, that
so I feel like,
seems like
I feel like that's
I
mean, we should go through the rest of the page, but that feels like a pregnant with possibilities.
Yeah, so vanilla is linked on here, as you thought it might be.
Where?
It's under talking about the Aztecs in history. Drank it cold, seasoning it with a broad variety of additives, including the petals of the Cymbopetalum penduliflorum tree. Chili pepper,
you mean the Cymbopetalum penduliflorum tree?
Chili pepper, allspice, vanilla, and honey.
I love the exasperated sigh.
Yeah, well, that's all I have left.
Right. So vanilla is linked here, so that feels like a strong candidate.
Yeah, vanilla is linked multiple times. Actually, I'm seeing it. Oh, there's Baker's chocolate. Remember what I talked about Baker's chocolate? How it's not how it was invented by a guy named Baker and not didn't have anything to do with being four bakers.
It's a good bit.
Remember that? It's the truth. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot to tell Karen about the fact that she inspired me to read the book Candy Freak. Is that what it was called? And because I read that book, I then went out and found all the different candies that he talks about going to find, and then I bought them so I could try them all. And these people have changed my life, Jethro. I don't know if I make that clear enough.
Yeah, you really have. I feel like this is the kind of thing that's best written down in a long letter that's drafted on like a goat skin and personally mailed to their residence.
That's probably a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a great book though. You should check it out if you haven't read it. It's by the author's last name is Almond.
Look at that. All right, so vanilla seems like a solid option for us.
You think vanilla over flavoring agent? Because flavoring agent, I mean, castoreum is a flavoring agent. I feel like that's going to be an even better thing than because vanilla might be a couple links away, right?
Yeah, I don't know enough about it to have a terribly informed opinion. Although, let me know what you like more, and then I will choose a different thing. Just for the sake of keeping the podcast.
That's just what you do.
It's what I do. It's my instinct. It's who I am.
Sure. No, it makes perfect sense. I'm still reading through because it is a long page, and I do love a good long page. So I'm wondering if castoreum could be on this page. We could find out that castoreum is in chocolate bars.
It could be,
and it's discussed on this page. I haven't seen it yet. There's a lot of discussion of particular companies that make chocolate, though I don't see any particular chocolate bars listed yet. And again, since I don't know if they're in them or not, if it's in them or not, it would kind of be, big chocolate. Look at that. That's a thing. Oh, here's some things. The cream egg.
Like the Cadbury cream egg?
Yeah. The Cadbury cream
Oh
egg.
God.
You don't like the Cadbury cream egg?
It's no. I mean, I'm not much on sweets these days anyway, but the Cadbury cream egg is foul.
Love a good Cadbury cream egg. Love to put them in the freezer. Love them frozen.
I will say
Excellent.
Reese's peanut butter cups in the freezer. Mwah.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
Oh yeah, absolutely. 100%. M&M's is on this page. So if we thought that there was castoreum, ice cream, I see on here, pudding, all things that could potentially have castoreum in them. We've got Roald Dahl, which I just found out that you don't pronounce the D in that name. The guy that wrote Charlie and Chocolate Factory, it's Rule. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
I did. I learned that on Good Job Brain. You fell right into it.
Wow, you're fanboying hard.
I just remember
Matt,
stuff.
I'm going to say that vanilla is the way to go, and that's the choice we should make.
You don't want to go through United States military chocolate?
I really don't.
I kind of want to go there.
What possible good could come from that?
Oh, that seems crazy. You know, I remember in the 90s, Hershey invented a chocolate bar that they could send to the Middle East, to Iraq, for the troops while they were fighting the first Iraq War. And I got some of them because I went to Hershey, Pennsylvania, and man alive, they're terrible. Like they were like these like grainy. It was almost like there was sand in it. Like it is all stuff to keep it from melting. It was craziness.
Yeah. I mean that's probably a great reason not to go to war in the Middle East.
That's the main reason.
So hard to get chocolate.
So I'm saying flavoring agent is what we should go to.
And I'm saying vanilla is what we should go to.
No, definitely flavoring agent.
All right, so you're wrong again.
But I'm wrong again.
So. Why would we go to the vague concept of flavoring agent when one of the two flavors explicitly mentioned in Karen's description of castoreum were vanilla and raspberry?
Because we don't know for certain that a Wikipedia page about vanilla is going to talk about castoreum.
Of course it is.
See, you say it with determination just so that I'll go to it.
We don't know that the Wikipedia page for the far more vague concept of flavoring agent is going to list the particular flavoring agent that we care about.
But isn't there a greater chance that flavoring agent is going to be a larger page? Because there are a lot of different flavoring agents.
I don't care what's a larger page. I care about getting the castoreum.
There's a greater chance of it being on that page. All right.
No.
All right.
No.
Fine.
No.
Fine.
No.
Fine.
I rebuke your hypothesis. I rebuke it. I refute it.
Listen. I wrote a quiz. I wrote a quiz that took a long time. I'm willing, in the interest of moving forward, to not argue with you and go to vanilla. Okay.
All right. Let's go to vanilla.
Let's go to vanilla. We're not talking about the flavor. Let's be clear. It's not the flavor of vanilla that we're going to. It's vanilla, like the plant.
No.
Or the spice, I should say.
No, because when I click on the link, it says this article is about the flavoring. It's like literally the first word.
It does.
It's almost like somebody edited this page just to make you wrong immediately.
Oh, well done, Wikipedia.
All right, bravo.
Can I get my money back from that donation that I made?
All right.
All right, what do we see here? What do we see? Anything good?
I see a lot of stuff. There's a chemistry section. Here I am looking at it.
Sure.
It's incredible.
Anything good in
cultivation. Good Lord, there's a lot of stuff going on here.
Mm-hmm.
There's curing, killing, sweating, drying, conditioning, grading, production, uses.
Okay.
God, there's so much on here.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not so much. I mean, it's not that long of a page.
It's a huge page.
It's smaller than the chocolate page, or it's smaller than the chocolate page.
But that's chocolate, for God's sakes. That's a huge exhale, Matt. What have you discovered?
It's on this page.
What?
It's spelled different than I thought, too. Non-plant vanilla flavoring. In the United States, castoreum, the exudate of the castor sacs of mature beavers, has been approved by the Food and Drug Administration as a food additive. So there it is, castoreum. Spelled totally different than I thought it was. But we have found it. I can't wait at some point to go back and see if it also is on the flavor additive page. It's a food additive. So maybe it wasn't on a flavoring page. Maybe you're right.
I mean, but aren't all flavor additives food additives?
They might be, but we'll have to check out. We'll have to take a look at that after we take a look at our guesses for this particular walk. And Jethro, from Emerald View Park to Castorium, took us 5 links. What did?
All right, what do you got? I feel like I always reveal first because you think I'm cheating.
You always say that, and then I go, okay, I'll go first. And so you never go first. But I'll tell you, Jethro, I guessed 5.
You guessed 5?
I did.
I guessed 6.
6? Oh my God. It happened.
You did it. You did it, Matt. Congratulations.
Invoke the spirits. I did it. Oh my gosh. I can't believe it. Good job, Matt.
Good job, Matt's brain.
Amazing. And what just a blast, and what a fantastic fun time we had. Or I had. I don't know. Jethro, was this as much fun for you as it was for me, do you think?
I had an absolute love it. First of all, Karen is a delight. She's very kind and generous with her time and laughs at my jokes, which is always positive. But also, Matt, like I love you. You're a good friend, and I enjoy watching you enjoy things. And you clearly love Good Job Brain and are very flattered that they came on and you did all that work to make a quiz. Like it's fun to watch people you love have fun. So I had a thoroughly good time.
I appreciate that. And I think I really have to say thank you again to Karen for coming on, because her show is so much bigger than ours. It doesn't even like she said, they wrote a book. Like, they have won so many awards for podcasting. They are listened to all over the world. They are an amazingly, like, it's like having a podcast superstar. It is having a podcast superstar come on our little tiny show here, and it just is it's humbling and it's amazing, and it's so nice of her to offer.
Oh yeah, no, it was a total miscalculation on her part. She should have avoided us like the plague. She's bigger than us.
No, I think that that's just how great she is. I mean, I think that's what it comes down to, Jethro. It had nothing to do with, she knew exactly what she was doing, and she still did it. And I think it
was absolutely super nice. And again, like, I'm not blowing smoke. Even now that she's not on anymore, I'll still say go listen to Good Job Brain. It's a delightful podcast, very fun, a lot of great humor on it, some fun trivia stuff. It's now in my regular rotation. It's very enjoyable.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%. You know, you can only listen to us for so long. One, because we only have so much content, but 2, because you can only listen to us for so long.
Exactly.
So
we wear on you. We get it. We know who we are.
Great one to listen to, and highly recommend. So, but also come back and listen to us next week, because we're going to have more fantastic guests. We're going to have more destinations, and we're going to get out of Castorium and go off to who knows where, Jethro. And I can't wait to do it, buddy.
Me too.